everyone, it is April from Getting Hookah With It. I already have another little book haul for you. I've got 8 books here that I wanted to share with you really quick. I just couldn't help myself. I've bought a lot of books from Chapters and overseas from the UK, and it was a book depository, I can't remember, but I made a few orders, I bought a few books, and I wanted to share them with you. First, I'm going to share with you a book that I got from a publisher. I got sent this from HarperCollins US, which was super kind of them. This is House of Corrections by Nikki French. Now, you guys know the Frida Klein series, Chef's Kiss, amazing. I love the Frida Klein series so much. And when I found out that this husband and wife team was coming out with a new book, I knew I needed to read this pronto. I haven't read it yet, but Jen Campbell has, who is she is the reason that I bought the Frida Klein series and read the Frida Klein series. And she read this recently and loved it. And that means I know that I'm going to love it. And so I'm really excited. This book is about a woman named Tabitha. She has recently moved back to her childhood home in Oakham, England. And she moves back and pretty much immediately she's put in handcuffs. And the police believe that she murdered someone. And she's going, how is this humanly possible? I just got back here. How would I even have a chance to kill anybody? This makes absolutely no sense. She's in prison and we're following her in prison as she is dissecting all of the evidence brought against her. And she's trying to sort out how they have led all of these facts and evidence, how any of it has led to her. But the last line on here says, what if she's only lying to herself? So this just sounds right up my alley. They're such a good team, this husband and wife team. Can you even imagine writing with your significant other? I don't think that would work very well for Barry and I, but let's read the first line of House of Correction. So part 1 inside. Are you ready? The screaming started at 3 in the morning. Yes, 5-star first line. It is a gut punch. It is violent. I need to know what happens next. What came before 3? I gotta find out. So, oh my goodness, thank you so much, HarperCollins, for sending this my way. That was like one of my most anticipated books of the whole year. Okay. Where should we move on to next? Okay, you know what we're gonna move on to is a big old Chapters order that I made. We'll start with the Stephen King that I ordered. They had this sale that went on for a little while where it was like Stephen King was the author of the month and it was 25% off all of his books for a month. So I ended up getting Salem's Lot by Stephen King. It's floppy. Yes. I love these versions of his stuff. I just can't even tell you how much I enjoy that. This is my mom's favorite Stephen King book, and I believe this is the second book he came out with. I think Carrie was number 1, and this was the second book. So this follows a writer named Ben Mears. Now he returns to Jerusalem's Lot in the hopes of exploring the history of a house that is meant to have a lot of rumors circulating around this house. It's called Marstein House. He's there in order to write a book. He's hoping that this home will give him some inspiration. And he gets way more than he asked for when 2 boys go into the woods near this house and only one of them returns alive. Now, it sounds like this is meant to be a vampire story. I don't always get along with vampire stories, but I think the reason for that is in my mind, ingrained in my mind, is Twilight when I think of a vampire story, which is not ideal. I mean, the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires is my favorite horror book now. So I just need to make that little shift in my mind. But I've heard amazing things. I mean, my mom will be very excited for me to read this. Let's read the first line and see what we think of Salem's Lot. Also, have you guys read this? Because I need to know. Okay, let's read the first line. This is the prologue. Almost everyone thought the man and the boy were father and son. That is not a 5-star first line. Moving on, we've got 2 books by the same author. I read Rewind recently by Catherine Ryan Howard. It was fantastic. It was such a good thriller. Oh my God, I was flipping those pages and I gotta tell you, that was in a mass market paperback version, because you can either get them in mass market paperback versions like this, they're tall but slim, or hardcover, and the price difference is like extreme. So I've gone for mass market. Who am I? Like, what has 2020 done to me? I don't know, but I've got 2 more Catherine Ryan Howard books here that I can't wait for. The first is The Liar's Girl. Now, I think this was up for an Edgar Award, if I'm not mistaken. So this follows 2 characters. We follow Will Hurley, who was this very attractive and charming man. He was a college student, I believe, at St. John's College in Ireland. And he ended up murdering 5 people. It says 5 victims, so I don't know if they're all women or what, but he would stalk them and then drown them. And we go back and forwards in time. So we go backwards in time to freshman Allison Smith, who enrolls in the college. And I think she starts dating this guy, Will, who is the killer. And unfortunately, one of the victims is her best friend. But we also flash forwards in time. Will is in prison for what he did. And unfortunately, a young woman's body is found in, I think, the place where he used to drown his victims. And detectives go to him and say, we need your help to solve this case. Like, it might be a copycat, I don't know. And he says, yeah, I'll help you, but I'm only going to be talking to one person. I'm only confessing my stuff to one person. And it's Allison, his ex-girlfriend. It sounds so great. I'm so excited to read this. So, The Liar's Girl, let's read the first line. I have high hopes because her writing, like, she might be a new favorite thriller author of mine. Like, we'll wait and see how I feel about more than just one, but okay. It's 4:17 a.m. on Sunday or Saturday morning when Jen comes to on a battered couch in a house somewhere in Rathmines, one of those red brick terraces that's been divided into flats, let out to students and left to rot. That sounds good, but I wouldn't say it's 5 stars. But it does sound really good. Okay, moving right along. I think this is her first book that she ever released. It's her debut, and this is called Distress Signals. This follows a man named Adam. Now, his girlfriend, Sarah, disappeared. She went on a business trip and never returned. I think like a week later, he receives a couple of things in the mail, her passport, and also a note that reads, I'm sorry. And he starts, questioning what in the world is going on. And he starts to dive into her disappearance. And it turns out she wasn't actually on a business trip. She was on a cruise ship called the Celebrate. And another woman went missing mysteriously. And he starts to dive into these 2 mysteries that he's, I think, trying to link and trying to find out what happened to his girlfriend. That sounds like fun. I'm just so excited about this author. Okay, so let's read the first line. It's from Adam's perspective. I jump before I decide I'm going to. It's a good solid first line, but not 5 stars in my mind. Okay, so that's everything that I got from chapters. Let's move right along. I think I got these two through Amazon, but it came from the UK. First is Wakenhyrst by Michelle Paver. It's, you know, Halloweeny time. I just want to read spooky books. I want to buy spooky books, as you've seen thus far, and this is no different. This is a book that apparently spans 5 centuries. It's a gothic thriller, and it takes place, I think, or it starts in Edwardian Suffolk, and we go to this big, huge manor house. I mean, that's the best way to start a book, especially a gothic book. And we follow a little girl named Maud. She is lonely. Her mother, I believe, has died, and she has a father who's incredibly repressive. Her father stumbles upon a medieval, painted medieval devil in a graveyard, and all of these forces are awakened. And there's witchcraft in here. It sounds fantastic. I think it was Simon's mom, Simon of Savidge Reads, sometimes has his mom on his channel. I really like her, and I think I remember her saying that she liked this, and so I got it because I trust her. Okay, so let's read the first line of Wakenhurst, so 1966. Oh, interesting. The first page is like this. It looks like it's an excerpt from a magazine. So it says, The Mystery of Edmund Steerne by Patrick Rippon, only in the Sunday Explorer magazine. Okay, first line. Like a witch's lair in a fairy tale, the ancient manor house crouches in its tangled garden. That sounds good, but not a 5-star first line. I'm so excited to read Michelle Paver. I think she has written a couple other ghost stories and then like a children's series. But this would be my first, and I'm really excited to get to it. Also, the cover. Can we just talk about this? Absolutely stunning. The other book that I got is Leanne's fault. I think it was Leanne. She recently was talking about ghost stories that she's enjoyed. And this came up. I have a whole list of books because of Leanne that are like currently in shopping carts, like all sorts of online shopping carts. I just can't help myself. The House Next Door, I think, is one of them that she was reading or wanted to read. And anyway, I'm getting off topic here, but this is a book that I think I picked up because of Leanne. This is The Upstairs Room by Kate Murray Brown, and this is another ghost story. So this is about a family who have saved and saved and saved in order to purchase this beautiful home that they've just wanted to have, a home for their girls for so long. And they move in and they should be very, very happy to be there, but they feel this unsettling feeling, especially Eleanor. But Richard is feeling disoriented too. They have a lodger, I believe, named Zoe, who is struggling to feel at home, and he's preoccupied with that. Eleanor is preoccupied with the people who lived in this house before them, and she dives into who they were, and in particular, she's trying to find out who Emily is, because the name Emily is written hundreds of times on the walls of the upstairs room. Why? I need to know why. I need to know why. That sounds so creepy. Now, I have heard that this is horror meets literary fiction, and a lot of people don't love that. I enjoy it a lot of the time, but it's kind of hit or miss for some people. Okay, but let's read the first line. London, 2013. It was there from the beginning, the day they first saw the house. I don't think that's a 5-star first line for me. It does intrigue me. What was there? I'd like to know, but I'm not like instantly hooked, you know? I have 2 more books. I went to the dollar store the other day and found a book, and that happens every once in a blue moon. But I just couldn't walk away from Fatal Inheritance by Rachel Rice. Rachel Rice, I believe, writes historical fiction that has some mystery elements to it, and I usually like that in a book. I like that generally. So this follows a woman named Eve Forrester. It's London, 1948. She is trying to get out of a marriage, a bad marriage. I think he might be a little bit abusive. Out of the blue, she gets a letter in the mail saying that she has inherited a home. It is a home in the south of France, and like this could not have come at a more perfect time. So she goes and she loves the home. It's beautiful, and suddenly she's, you know, meeting all of these glamorous people because her life has changed in a major way. I nearly said bigly right there. Can you tell the election is on my mind? What is that? Oh no. Okay, let's just get Trump out of our minds, find peace and happiness in Fatal Inheritance. Okay, so her life has changed in a major way. Unfortunately, a lot of people start challenging this inheritance, and people would love to see Eve gone forever. And it sounds like she might be in trouble. She might actually be in danger. And that just sounds great to me. That sounds great. So let's read the first line of Fatal Inheritance. Okay. Chapter 1, May 20th, 1948. If Vera arrives before Harry, her whole life will change. It's got the punch I need, but I don't know who Vera is. I don't know who Harry is. Harry or Henry? I don't know who they are. And so it doesn't have enough on the line for me to give this a 5-star first line. Still good though. Still looks good. Okay, last but not least is a book I got at a charity shop. I stumbled upon it. I have so many of this woman's books on my shelves. I don't know what's happening, but I genuinely have too many and I still haven't read her. And this is something that I'd like to potentially make as a goal in 2021, is to read the authors on my shelves in the thriller department that I haven't read yet. And then maybe I could get rid of books that way, because you can tell a lot just by reading one book by a thriller author. Anyway, I haven't told you what this book is. This is 3 Days Missing by Kimberly Bell. It says it was supposed to be an ordinary camping trip. I'm guessing it didn't go that way. So this sounds like a good one to read in the summer. This follows a mother who gets the worst news in the world. Her 9-year-old son, Ethan, is missing. He was on a camping trip with his class. It was an overnight trip, and he vanished from his cabin. And she obviously rushes to the campgrounds and is trying to find her son. Now, another mother who doesn't know Kat at all, they had never really met before, she just finds herself really caring about this case and wants to help. And so the two mothers try to track down the son, little Ethan. Will they find him in time? I don't know. But it does sound like, it sounds like a really easy book to read. And for $2, yes, please. Okay, let's read the first line of 3 Days Missing. So, Kat. My phone is already buzzing with work email as I rush Ethan through his morning routine. Like, not in any way a 5-star first line, but I'll still read it. So there is that, and that's it. That's it, guys. Kind of short and sweet in comparison to my last one. But I'm really excited about all of these lovely, wonderful books. So many spooky ones. Are they all spooky? Let's look here. They're all kind of scary. I mean, the Fatal Inheritance has a mystery involved. She's in danger. They're all spooky. I didn't expect that. I don't know why. It's Halloween time. I should expect that from myself. I should know myself by now. In any case, let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these. I'd love to know your thoughts. Don't give me any spoilers because I hate those. And I will talk with you guys really soon. Bye, everyone.